Last week, Wednesday, I went to go see the Quintessential Quintuplets Movie. If you don't know, it is a harem shonen series. It's collected in 14 volumes. It also has 2 anime series, and it also has a movie that's just come out. And the movie concludes the ending of the whole thing. So I get up on my own and I go to the Quintessential Quintuplets Movie. I go in, I get my ticket, I get my popcorn, I give my ticket to the guy. He says, yep, screen 10, go. It's going to be like 10 minutes. I'm like, great. So I walk in and I see no one. I start walking upstairs and I see there's someone like on the 5th row. And I give him that generic male acknowledgement. You know, when you look at someone, you kind of look at them, you just go, they know you exist, I know he exists, and then I just sit down. The pre-rolls start rolling, and then 2 other people come in. An older guy comes in. He's tall, slightly receding hairline, not that I can say much, but it's long and grey. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, everyone's coming in on their own. This is going to be a little bit weird. A younger guy comes in. He's got to be like 18. Maybe 19. The pre-credits come on, all the trailers and everything. And I get into my lazy positions. I'm just sitting like this. Not to hide from anyone, because this is just like how comfortable I'm feeling right now. So the movie starts and Futaro says his first words, no subtitles. So me, in my slouch chair like this, immediately, I don't know Japanese. I need to go get help. I've been in situations like this before where I know that eventually it will rectify itself. So I have a quick look around. Everybody's just still in their chair, having a good time. So it's like 30, 40 seconds. You get a couple of conversations with the main character and some random woman. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to wait until the opening finishes and then I'm going to go see somebody. And this is probably the longest 2 minutes of my life, because what you get in the opening is this, which is basically a swimsuit beach episode in the space of, I didn't realize there was so much damn button stuff. What? Let's not. And then this section finishes and it goes to the school, and then more words are said and there's no subtitles. So immediately I get up and I go downstairs, I walk to the clerk and I say, look, screen 10, we're watching a Japanese anime, there's no subtitles. Could you get someone to look into it for us? Yeah, sure, not a problem. As I turn around, there is a guy, the first guy that I saw when I walked into the cinema, and he is there in my face. So he's kind of all in my face, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you okay? What's the problem? And he kind of mumbles to himself. I say, oh, I've just got someone to look into the subtitles, not a problem. He's like, okay, do you think that you could get them to restart it because we don't want to miss anything? Dude, we've had 2 minutes of boobs and butts. You know the premise. You know that he gets married to one of the main characters. The dialogue that is said is not going to change anything. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't really need it restarted, but sure, I'll ask. As I walk back in, a girl comes walking in with me. I'm thinking to myself, you're like 5 minutes late. Are you sure you're in the right theatre? Not to say that girls can't enjoy a harem, but she's on her own. And I'm thinking to myself, surely you haven't come here to watch Quintessential Quintuplets. Turns out she has. So I stand like in the hallway right next to the actual screen, so I can see everybody sitting, but they can't really see me. I kind of peek around the corner and they're all still just in their seats, just listening. I start thinking to myself, maybe they all know Japanese. I'm waiting. Eventually the film just stops. Someone comes in, they leave. Another person comes in, they leave. And then a third person comes and said, look, we're just getting it restarted. It's going to take maybe 20 minutes or so. And then she starts making small talk. She says, oh, my kids say that this is really good, but they say I won't understand it. And the girl who walks in with me says, oh, yeah, I don't know anything about this series. I've kind of come in blind. And that set everybody off. The young guy that came in originally, he went off on one. He said, I don't understand how you could come to this movie. This is literally just the last 10% of a 24 episode anime. And I don't think you'll understand the consequences or the relationships between the main character and the lead. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, she just did this on a whim. I don't know why you're going in on her so much. The girl at the back starts talking to the young dude. So, oh yeah, I just kind of like, want to try and get into anime a little bit more. I started watching a couple of Studio Ghibli films. There was an anime movie that I watched last week. Everything that she says that she's watched, she said, yeah, that's really good. I rate it. And he just gave it a rating. Oh yeah, I also watched Death Note. Yeah, Death Note's really good. You should definitely read the manga though. What do you think of One Piece? I can't watch One Piece. I can only read it. So, oh, why is that? Is the animation bad? Well, yes, one, the animation is bad, but also the pacing is terrible. But she's talking so calmly. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, she's hitting on you. Take a chill pill. Relax, have a good time, and just maybe get to know her. I'm sitting like 3 rows in front from the last row. He's sitting behind me and she's sitting like the very back row. The woman comes back in and says, look, we can't read the subtitles in this screening, so we're gonna have to move you. Everyone goes. I'm the last one out. we go to the screen opposite. Before I sit down, I have a look back, and the dude sits roughly where he was sitting in the previous screen, but the girl is sitting in the same aisle, one space away from him. If she is not trying to get with him or at least pursue something with him, why would she sit almost next to him? I don't understand. Anyways, they start mumbling. I can hear him in the background in his elitism and whatnot. And the film goes, and there's subtitles and everything. Happy days. But the next cringy part was during the movie, the three guys that were in front laughed at every single joke. There was a point where the main character had to go to the vending machine because he was thirsty. One of the girls that was with him said, "Oh, here's some money, go get yourself a drink. By the way, if you choose orange juice, you like Yotsuba. If you get coffee, you like me. If you get green tea, you like Ichika." And then everyone starts laughing again, because obviously he's contemplating who he actually likes and which drink he's going to get. And depending on what drink he gets, it will obviously indicate to the other quintuplet which girl he likes. And then the next scene after that of him staring at the vending machine, it says 10 minutes later. And the three of the four guys at the front burst out into shrieks of laughter as if it was the funniest thing that they've ever seen in their life. And this went on for almost the entire movie. Every 10 minutes or so, something mildly amusing would happen, and they would laugh constantly. And at first, I laughed along with them, not to, disrespect them or anything. It was quite funny. But then after a while, I found it quite annoying. As soon as the credits hit, the girl stands up and she sprints down the stairs and out the corridor. And I turn around and the boy is just sitting there like this. Now, maybe she came on too strong, or maybe he just wasn't socially aware. I don't know. Maybe he was too young. I couldn't tell how old he was. Maybe he was 19, 20. Yeah, it was super awkward. And I didn't want to interact with anybody else because the other two guys, the three guys at the front that were laughing a lot, end up talking with each other. And it sounded like they were going out somewhere to eat. And I just couldn't deal with that. I know anime and manga can be quite cringy at times, and I know it could be awkward as well, especially beach scenes and stuff. And because this was a movie, they put a lot of jiggle physics in, so they put a lot of effort into the assets, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it could be a little bit cringy and awkward sometimes, and sometimes when I'm on my own watching it, I don't know how you guys feel, when I'm watching it at home, I just kind of accept it for what it is. But when I'm with other people, I get that I don't know what it is. I just get really hot and flustered, and I start thinking about what other people think about me. And what I was thinking during that movie is what I fear that people think about me. And I feel like I end up acting like those guys all the time when I'm out with work colleagues and some select friends that I have. But yeah, that was my awkward trip to the Quintessential Quintuplets movie. Whether or not you like harem series or not, it's I'm sure you can relate to an extent. But yeah, it was scary and weird. I feel sorry for the guy.